Now, to sum this up, I'm going to give you a little message of hope. My confession today is I am usually the appointed inspirational writer for Matters of the Heart ministry. And I'm real guilty this morning in saying lately I haven't been doing my writing, and that's not even typical because I really enjoy it so much. I know it's part of my ministry. And I've been going through some struggles, a whole lot of struggles, a whole lot. I can't even begin. My family, finances, out one car, all of this, and not even feeling sorry for myself, but just overwhelmed. And I know about that feeling because I'm actually been battling depression myself. And I'm not saying this to get you down, but I'm going to tell you how God has a way to take that thing and all of that burden that's weighing you down and turn it around. And he showed me that last night. This is a true life thing. Last night, I work at Verizon downtown. It can be quite stressful, but it pays well. I'm still struggling, but it's all good. To God be the glory, I have a job. However, I left that job. I had moved my car, parked up front, and I went to go to my car exhausted from the very stressful week that I had, and I was looking forward to this morning and being here. And lo and behold, God focused my attention across the street. My building is here, and right across there's a park bench. And on that park bench, I saw two people shivering under a blanket. And I was like, I see homeless people. But this really, God was just calling me to these people. I didn't know who they were. And as you know, sometimes not every homeless person is nice. Sometimes they could rip you off, mug you, whatever. But I didn't have a spirit of fear. And I sat there and I kept hearing God speak to me. I couldn't keep my eyes, I just kept looking over across the street and I said, oh my God, look at this. How dare I even feel sorry for myself when I have a roof over my head? No, it's not the fanciest roof. I have a meal. I have a deep freezer, extra food to go. My kids are fed. My kids are doing well, you know. How could I do that? And God kept showing me that corner when I was at my darkest hour. And I'm being real with y'all. I'm not even writing it down. I don't need to write it. This is my heart. And I drove away. But God kept pulling me back to that corner. I couldn't ignore it. And God said, you need to go back. You need to bless those people. You need to go back right now. I was almost on the ramp to go on 275, and I saw that turn. And you know what? God pulled me, and I turned that car around, and I drove. You know how downtown Tampa is. One way is everywhere, but I drove, and I maneuvered my way back to that corner, and I said a silent prayer. I pulled over by the fire hydrant, and I see these there were two men, two African-American men, one older. They have names. Their names were Ramsey, a very nice older gentleman, probably in his 60s maybe, and then Rudy. And Rudy was a younger guy with a beard. He stayed under the covers just shivering under this blanket, just the clothes on their back. And I kept feeling like, you know when God talks to you and your hair stands on end and you just can't contain yourself? So here I go. My flesh took out $5 a piece. My flesh. My human, give them some money, keep going. God is so awesome. And so I got out the car. I wasn't fearful, but I did hold on tight to my purse. I had these $2 to $5 bills. Mind you, my kids were sick last week, so my check was about $500 short. I didn't even think about that, I said, sir, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And it's dark, nobody's around, it's like a ghost town. And I said, I'm sorry, I know you're trying to sleep, but I just wanted to come here and bless you. So me with my human little self gave them $5 each. And they smiled, and I said, maybe you can get some coffee, hot chocolate, a little bite to eat, And they looked, and they were like, The man, I guess he had arthritis, back problems, and this is a hard metal park bench. And he got up, and he put on his shoes like he's trying to be a gentleman. You could tell he had a good upbringing. He was a very nice man. And he says, "Oh my goodness, wow, thank you." And I just looked at him, and I looked, and I saw the soul of this man. God can really put you back in check. He can check you sometimes. And I said to myself, oh my God, I've been selfish. I didn't mean to be. Here I am wallowing in my own self-pity. When this man doesn't have a place to live, he's freezing, and he still had a smile. And then I got back and I said, God told me to come back. I saw you when I got out of work. And he said, come back, go back. I don't know why, but he told me. So I get in my car, and he had a little smile, and the other guy was just shivering under the covers, and, it touched me. And then I got back in my car, and I said, God bless you. And God was like, girl, come on now, $5? Come on, really? $5? What have I given you? And you're going to come up with some $5. I'm doing the color girl version, okay? Everybody follow? All right, $5 footlong. That don't even cover the tax. What's up with that? Subway is closed. Where these, So I go back in my wallet, and I had 3 20s. I took out 2 more $20 bills, and I got up, I walked over to them, I shook Ramsey's hand. I said, you know what? I can't stop here. I said, I can't stop here. And I took the 2 $20 bills, and I handed each one. So they each got $25. Mind you, my check is $500 short, but it's so funny how God just erases. I didn't even think about it. There's been times, come on, don't tell me none of y'all have ever been in church, right? And God, they're talking about, please give, give, give. And you're like, come on now. Can we be honest with each other? I don't care how holy you are. I'm just being real. If you ever been in church and you're like, oh, this is gonna hurt. All right, Lord. I didn't even do that. That's the funny thing. I'm just saying. Can I get a show of hands? Is anybody gonna be real with me? I've done it. I didn't say it out loud. I put on my, hey. But come on now, I'm just being real. You ever put that $100 up on the altar and you go, I don't know how these Tico's gonna keep my lights on another day. But okay, Lord. And he shows up anyway, in spite of our ignorance, in spite of our humanness, in spite of our flesh worrying about it. So I'm here to tell you, that man got up, and when I tell you this was a genuine smile, he said, oh my God, I cannot believe that you just got out your car and handed me $25. I was just praying. And I said, God, send me an angel, send somebody to me. I don't know what we're gonna eat tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna do, Lord. I've never been on a park bench before. I'm still overtaken with joy. I have never felt so much joy in giving to those homeless people. I didn't know what they were gonna, he goes, you know what, Rudy? We're gonna eat real good tonight. And then I even went further and I said, you know what? I got some house cleaning to do. I got too much clutter going on. I said, you know what? I'm gonna pack my car and launder. I'm gonna see if I find any blankets, anything they can carry. Book bags, that they can carry their stuff until they get a place. I wish I could have had enough space to open my home. That's how passionate it made me feel. And I said to myself, I said, Lord, thank you. That's what you call hope. And that's how I knew. This is a true story. This just happened. I'm not even this is true. And God took little old me and he opened my eyes so wide and he let me see. And that's what Thanksgiving is about. It's not about yourself. It's about letting God use you and being obedient. Don't ignore it. I've ignored it before. I've heard the voice and I said, oh, next time. And it wasn't a next time. What I'm saying to you all, it's not all that it seems. This man was a retired bank employee, and he looked embarrassed, and I said, don't you dare be embarrassed. I said, you gave me hope. You inspired me. I said, you're really the angel, because God showed me to you and guided me to you to let me know that no matter how bad or what you're going through, God is able. And even if you're on that street corner, he'll talk to one of us, and it's up to you to listen and abide by that word. You got to hear him. If you hear him, don't ignore him. Don't ignore him. It's so crucial. So I said, Lord, you know what? If you took me today, I would die with a smile, because I know that you used me, and thank God that you gave me the spiritual ears to hear your voice and know that it was you. And that was my confirmation. When that man said, oh my God, I was just crying out to God saying, Lord, help me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So that's all. Hope, everybody. Use it. Be grateful. These turkeys is just the beginning. There's plenty more turkeys where that came from. There's plenty more. If y'all ain't into the meat, there's veggie meat. God's going to prepare. Everybody's going to have a full table, not just on Thanksgiving, but every day. So let this just be a gateway to more things to come. This is just the gift card is awesome. The turkey is awesome. But some of us are worrying about what we're going to eat tomorrow, or where we're going to live, or what we're going to do, or we don't have any heat. I say to you today, believe, have hope, know that you're not the worse off, and just know God is so able. I tell you, it could be any one of us standing on that street corner. You don't know, but he's still able. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Prudence. You know, Prudence, as she stated, is my ministry writer for my e-blasts that go out 2 or 3 times a week. But, you know, one of the things, too, I also know she's a talker. Now, you can tell by me standing up here today, it didn't do any good. Because my Prudence is a talker.